Hi there, it's March 1st, and as such, it's time for our February 2023 market stats. Before I get into that, however, I do feel the need to give you a public service announcement of sorts. There's been a lot of fraudulent activity, and it's had quite an uptick as of late. And whether you're a VIP buyer or seller of ours, or just watching this video for informational purposes, it's important to us to protect our customers and our community. And I'm hoping that this video will provide a means to get a message out to a lot of people. I'm going to tell you about some of the fraudulent attacks that are happening right now on homeowners and just financial transactions. And then I'll tell you about the processes that we are implementing to protect our customers during the transaction, as well as things you can do as well to safeguard yourself. So stay tuned to the end, and I will give market stats at the very end, save the boring stuff for last. So I am Ruth Squires with eXp Realty RES Luxury Group, bringing you white glove service, red carpet treatment, because your satisfaction is our guarantee. So as far as the financial attacks that we're seeing, there has been an increase, an uptick in the volume of attacks that we personally are seeing. So what I see the most is attempts, once I list a property, to have a seller think they're receiving an offer, and it gives them a document to open up or a link to click, which then I'm sure is going to somehow track their computer, get behind the scenes on their computer with the hacking software, where they can then tamper with things like bank logins and passwords, and kind of get that information that is very confidential that you don't want people to have. The other thing that happens with real estate transactions very frequently is attempts to intercept the transactions at the point of wire transfers, so that the money gets transferred inadvertently to the wrong accounts. And once that happens, there's no retrieving that money back. It is there, it is stolen, you've lost those funds. And as you can imagine, with real estate transactions, that can be hundreds of thousands of dollars involved in those transactions. That can destroy someone financially. So it's really important that you're aligned with a title company that takes your protection very seriously. So our vendors that we work with in our transactions and recommend, we know that they're doing the things to ensure our customer safety and the safety of the transaction. And I'll tell you more about what we can do to safeguard those things as we get to the end, but I want to kind of go through some of the highest level things that we're seeing. So you're also probably hearing the commercials about fraudulent deed transfers. That is happening, and there are some ways to protect yourself from at least being alerted to those things. I'll tell you that from what I'm hearing from title professionals, these attacks are mostly happening on people that own their homes free and clear. So having a loan on your property can be a bit of a safeguard, because there's a lien holder that has to be notified if something's sold and transferred, since they have to be paid off and satisfied with that. So that's a protection that I think often people don't think about. We'll talk about ways, if you do own your home free and clear, to monitor this. But I also think even if you have that loan, you should monitor your property as well. So I'll get to that again later on. You're hearing about the fraud with rental property. And so what happens is, when there's a vacant house, and oftentimes we'll see it with listed properties that are listed for sale, someone comes in and starts promoting fraudulently that that house is for rent. They collect application fees and deposits, and then the homeowner finds out, not the homeowner, but the tenant who thinks that they're going to move into the property, finds out that that property really isn't for rent. They've lost that money. So there's some things we can do to monitor that. So technology while it is bringing about some more opportunity for these fraudsters to take advantage of people and to financially harm people, it also gives us some good means of protecting ourselves. So I think you have to embrace technology at the same time as you're aware that technology can be harmful in some of the things that can go on that are hard to prevent from a legal standpoint. The final thing that I wanted to talk about is the wire transfer fraud that we were discussing earlier. And then I'll get right into what we are doing as a team to protect you going forward. So with the wire fraud, these thieves are tracking the transactions. They have ways of being alerted when a transaction is taking place. They will try to create a presence where they look like the title company. It looks legit when they send through information. And so they can trick people who are not aware of this and not realizing this, even to the point of duplicating the e-signing services. E-signing is such a valuable, efficient way of handling paperwork and documents. But when these people start spoofing or copying the e-sign applications, it can be detrimental. So one of the practices that we're putting into place is when you're in a transaction with us, if we send you something to sign, we are going to text you to tell you, hey, we just sent that document. Please go ahead and take a look and sign it, because that will prevent someone from slipping in behind us and sending something that looks legitimate the next day or, hours later. When it came in, that it's coming from us and that it is something you should be addressing. My recommendation would be anything beyond that. If it's not directly validated with the person sending it, then ignore it, because there's no reason to risk that you're signing or opening something that could put you in danger of the financial fraud. Another best practice is with the county, we have a program where you can sign up to be alerted if anything related, any document comes across the clerk's office for filing with your name on it. So that would include a transfer of deed, that would include any kind of filing, anything at all. And so that's a great protection where you can sign up for that. You will be notified and it'll help you to know, kind of like the credit bureau monitoring systems, only this is for your property. So I highly recommend, and we will post a link to that service in this video. Please, do that. It's for your protection. When it comes to vacant property and the fraudulent activity that's happening with the rental offerings and things of that nature, the best practice is use Google Alerts. Put your property address into Google Alerts so that any reference to your property address that hits the internet, you will receive an alert from Google about that. So that should cover if somebody starts saying, hey, this property's for rent or anything else related to your address. So those are some very simple things you can do, and utilizing technology to assist you in safeguarding yourself and protecting yourself. If you have any questions about how to implement those things, please feel free to reach out to us. We are always happy to help with these things. And you can reach us at 352-794-1426. So as far as the market stats go, pretty much status quo. The main things I want to mention, we have more expiring listings, and days on market continue to tick slowly up day by day. In addition to that, we're looking at interest rates that are pushing 7% since the middle of February. We have been kind of jumping up and down between 6.5% and 6.8, 6.9%. So they are up there still, and yet activity in the last few weeks has really increased as well. So I think sometimes we want to correlate these things, and I do think they have a correlation, but it also comes back to the buyer's motivations as well, and understanding that there's a lot of tools. I think people are starting to realize there's a lot of tools out there that can help them soften the impact of the rising rates. And that's something that we continue to promote and bring to our VIP buyers to make sure that they're aware there are options. You do not need to be afraid because of a number that's attached to your property for an interest rate. And again, there's the protections that loans provide as well. So weigh all of that when you're looking at, is it time to buy? Is now the right time? What are my reasons? You know, what kind of pros and cons are there on both sides of the equation? So we are happy to help with that. If anyone has any questions or any needs, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. And I hope this information has been helpful. Protect yourselves out there. This is only going to get worse and worse with financial fraud and crime. So don't fall prey to these horrible attempts at trying to steal your hard-earned money. And if you need my help with this, please reach out. I am always here to help you. So have a great day. Have a great month of March. I will see you again April 1st, even though that's April Fool's Day. I will see you on April 1st. And until then, just be blessed and let us know if you need us. Thanks.